Well, Santa grants a little girl's wish. It's time now for the other view. A video now going viral after a little girl did not want to sit on Santa's lap.
What did you say again? I love that.
I said this is her body, and she's in control of her body. And I asked if she wanted to sit on my lap, and she said no. And I said, way to stand up for yourself, and way to say what you believe is true.
Yay, I love that.
You can't let even Santa Claus, if Santa Claus says you want to sit on my lap, if you don't want to, you say no.
All right. What you might not know is that that little girl's mom happens to be a social media executive. Does that look kind of like a plant, or do you think that little girl did it all by herself? Did Santa do the right thing? Joining us now to discuss that and more, staff writer for The Federalist, Evita Duffy, and former vice chair for the New Jersey Federation of Republican Women, and host of Money Talk with Melanie, Project 21 volunteer, Melanie Collette. Evita, I'll start with you. You know, a lot of people were talking about Santa's reaction there. Wow, Santa did a great thing by letting that little girl do what she wanted. But when you watch the video and then you learn the backstory that there's a social media momager, so to speak, behind the scenes, does it make you look at it differently?
Yeah, you know what? You can never really trust these stories, right? You never really know what's real and what's not. I will say the big tell is that she doesn't look very engaged, right? She doesn't seem like she had told Santa no. She doesn't know what she doesn't have anything to say back to her mom. It's a really kind of a weird interaction where just the Santa Claus is talking and the child sort of seems really confused by the situation. So yeah, I think it's really possible that this is a plant story. Although the message is fine. I mean, to not have your children if they're not comfortable touching or being near adults, it's a good thing to have them, say, I don't feel comfortable with that, and feel strong enough to get out of situations. So I don't know. I think it could be a plant, but the message is fine.
I agree with you. Melanie, it's one thing where we're hearing other news outlets say, look at this fantastic Santa telling this young girl that it's her body. All of these things, that is a great message, but at the same time, it seems so excessively produced that any charm or any positive messaging there to me just kind of goes out the window because it just seems fake.
It seemed a bit performative, but, like my fellow panelists said, I do agree that it's a great message. And actually, especially this time of year, is a very good time for this message to be out here. I did think it was, Santa's comments were a smidge over the top, but the message is clear. We need to normalize, children especially, when they are uncomfortable around an adult, especially when it comes to their physical person, being able to say, no, I don't want to do that. We need to normalize that, and they need to learn that as early as possible. So I was good with it, whether it's performative or not, to be honest.
I agree. I think we all agree. Whether it was real or fake, the message is positive. All right, I want to switch gears to this. President Biden continues to court the Holly weird and the Holly woke. The president and vice president cozying up to Mariah Carey and her kids in the Oval Office. Now, the self-anointed queen of Christmas, Mariah, gushing about the holiday decor in the White House. No word if she saw that dance video, though. And then there's this, President Biden telling Conan O'Brien that he introduced John and Cindy McCain for that massive love affair. But is the president having another senior moment? Back in 2021, Cindy McCain told the story that it was actually First Lady Jill Biden who set them up. But the big story out of Hollywood, the Golden Globes. Well, coming up in a couple weeks, they still don't have a host. Chris Rock, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler have all declined to host the ceremony coming up quickly on January 7th. I don't know, Melanie, it seems that Hollywood might be getting a little bit too dangerous, even for Hollywood.
Yeah, I think that people are finally getting over it. The message is clear. We don't want to listen to politics when we're being entertained by the Golden Globes. We don't want to hear about your politics. We don't want to hear your opinion. Just host the show. Be funny, and let the comedians, let the hosts have a good time. From what I understand from the hosts that have declined, are like, it's not fun. It's not a good time anymore. It's polarizing, and that's not anything that it's supposed to be. So perhaps the producers at the Golden Globes will get the hint and become less polarizing and less political and get back to entertainment basics.
Yeah, Evita, I have to say, I was lucky enough to cover the Golden Globes on the red carpet for many, many years, and it really is the most fun, and I'll tell you why, because there's actually alcohol involved involved on the table, so a lot of the celebrities are getting loose, they're hanging out, they're relaxing. But to Melanie's point, that has changed a lot in recent years, especially because the Golden Globes has been under fire for some fake voting. There have been a lot of scandals, so I'm wondering if that's why celebrities want to stay far away from this particular ceremony.
I'm not sure about the voting scandal. Honestly, what I think it is these are genuine comedians that they're asking to host these shows, and this a group of largely left-wing Hollywood elitists are not fun people. These are the epitome of cancel culture creatures, right? If anything that they say, anything that the comedian says is going to be slightly over the line, slightly offensive, is going to come right back in their face. Who can blame Chris Rock, right? Who got slapped in the face last time he made a joke about his wife. I mean, they've gotten so out of control and unfun that I don't blame any comedian for saying, you know what, I'm just going to step out. I don't need to get canceled. I don't need all of the heartache and the just drama that comes with the Golden Globe and this particular group of left-wing Hollywood elites.
Yeah, simply not worth the paycheck, it seems. Also, speaking of paychecks, just a little note, the gift bag this year, the swag bag that all the celebs get, all the nominees, worth $500,000. Just sit with that for a minute. There you go. All right, we're going to leave it there. Evita Duffy, Melanie, Collette, thanks so much for joining me on The Other View.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.